Hey everybody, this is Dust for Dust on Gaming with our fifth and final match of episode 5 with Modern Burn here. If you like what you're seeing on the channel, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as you know, all of you may know, this is a continuation of various series we're doing here on the channel. We've decided to move the channel to exclusively Modern, Magic, and Legacy content. We've split the channel up. We did a separate channel we're going to be doing the standard stuff on. It's called Standard Nexus MTG. Beyond that, as far as the stuff we're playing on the channel, we play Burn, Arclight, Phoenix, various Shadow decks, and various control decks in Modern, such as Blue White, Jeskai, and various Blue Moon and Through the Breach strategies. So, that said, this is a pretty stock Boros build now, with Skewer the Critcs replacing Skullcrack in the main deck, 1 Lavamancer, 19 lands, sideboard, 2 copies of Path, 3 copies of Rest in Peace, 2 Skullcracks, 2 Searing Bloods, 4 Cindervines, which is kind of the splashier as opposed to something like Destructive Revelry or Wear Tear. Has utility both against Artifact and Enchantment decks, also pretty good against decks like Storm and some of the various control decks, so it has a lot more utility than even Destructive Revelry did. And then Ensnaring Bridge comes in against the creature decks to kind of slow them down long enough for us to burn them out. Decks like Humans, Death Shadow, potentially Green Black Rock, although they tend to have a billion answers to Ensnaring Bridge. And beyond that, so far we're 3-1. We've played against 2 different variants of Arclight Phoenix. We played against the Mono Red and the Teamer version. We played against Counters Company and Green Red Titan Shift. Our loss was to Counters Company, if you want to go back and watch that matchup. That matchup feels pretty rough now, especially when our opponent had at least 3 Kitchen Finks in their 75. A couple opponents scooping too early, in my opinion. You generally don't scoop to burn until you know for sure they have the kill, but like we were holding a handful of Searing Blazes, our opponent has no creature, and they scoop at like 8 life. So make sure you play it out. Don't always scoop just because you presume your opponent has the answers. Sometimes they don't. Beyond that, not really a whole lot to say. This will be our 5th and final match this weekend. Probably, let's see, today is Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So, right around this time the video is going up. I'll have been at Grand Prix Cleveland this weekend. I won't be playing in the main event. I will be playing some Modern side events on Friday and Saturday. I'm still not sure if I'm going up Sunday or not. All depends on how I feel. Driving from here to Cleveland's about an hour, 15 hour, and 20 minute jaunt, and I'm not staying up there, so we are on the play with 2 1-mana plays. This is one of those hands that's always a debate for me. I guess we keep it because we have God and Riftbolt, and we happen to rip a land, and we're doing pretty good shape in most matchups. So obviously relying on this Goblin God to get in some fair amount of hits otherwise. Some type of controlling deck. Alright. Path to Exile most likely. Actually actively want our opponent to path us here. Is this a control deck, or is this red-white, hate my life kind of cards? I see a Chalice come down here. We know we're going to hate our lives. But to be fair, this hand's a lot worse. Yeah, this feels like red-white prison then. Ironically, opponent, that does nothing against me. Now it does, because we drew a 1-drop, of course. Mind Stone. It's just mono white prison. Journey to Nowhere, sure. Here comes Eidolon, here comes Eidolon. Why don't they play Mindstone at least? They have like a Blessed Alliance here. Seriously? Alright. Obviously we should have played that. Eidolon pre-combat here, sniffing that out. So mono white prison, interesting. Definitely going to want to bring in our... Please be getting into the trials. Because that would be kill you in response. Sure. Lightning helix you. So we don't know if our opponent has we importantly do not know if our opponent has red in their deck. Not that that changes the matchup a ton. We are definitely bringing in all the Cinder Vines. All these Searing Blazes can easily go out. What is the next cut? Skull Cracks, they already showed us Blessed Alliance. Maybe some amount of the one drops. Like these spikes, maybe. Trying to reduce how many dead cards we have. So either if they're red-white or mono-white, they're a prison-based style deck with Planeswalkers, Chalice of the Void, Leyline. If they have red in their deck, then they have access to Lightning Helix in addition to Blessed Alliance. Beyond that, I'm not really sure. Like, they're obviously a prison-style deck. You know, they're very heavy on the Chalice play stuff. This hand's reasonable. Like, if they have... Obviously, if they have Leyline, it's a lot worse. But we have all of our colors. Keeps their hand. Alright, so... So Spear. Doesn't seem like they had... Obviously this bolt's probably going to get stranded in our hand. Oh, just Journey to Nowhere, sure. I don't like exposing our green source. Maybe I'm just supposed to shock in for the... Sacred Foundry there. Another Goblin God, huh? Alright, Wrath, so... Good thing we're getting in this damage here. And then shock this in. Suspend Rift Bolt. Suspend Rift Bolt and pass. So you're going to have to Wrath here. And then you just die. Let's end this. So, pretty sweet with the 4-1. It's been a minute since Burns had pretty good results for us. So obviously very happy with the 4-1 result. A lot of that was some positive matchups. It showed kind of how I feel a well-built Burn deck's pretty good against the archlight decks, depending on what cards they see out of the sideboard, etc. Yeah, couple sketchy keeps there, not gonna lie, but they managed to work out. The one-landers sometimes are sketchy, especially in the deck with as many 2-drops as this deck has. I like the addition of Skewer the Critics. It's obviously a very awesome card. I don't think Light Up the Stage is worth it in the Boros version. Cindervines definitely still need some more testing. In Staring Bridge, I can take it or leave it. Some of the other cards I prefer to have in some matchups. Others, it's kind of preference here, but pretty sweet league overall, 4-1. It's been a little bit since we've had a really good finish with Burn, so that felt nice. But this has been Dusk for Dusted on Gaming with match number 5, episode 5 of Burn here in Modern. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.